Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Wednesday, July 7th, 2021, 3 p.m. Eastern. Remind everybody we have a Time for Change call tonight. We're going to go into what was done to the civilization, to mankind. We're going to do it in sections, so that everybody gets an education on the root control mechanisms of this civilization. We've all got to know that in order so that we can counteract it. So knowledge is important, and it's time that the civilization starts to find this out so that we have a clean road ahead of us as far as this transition is concerned. We have to know our past as far as our roots, existence of this civilization in order to move forward. So we're going to be sharing that tonight. One thing that I think with ourselves, we kind of be spontaneous. We are all divine, loving inspiration and action, and there's a natural enthusiasm within us for this life, but we hold it a lot. We don't express it. We're too connected to the external world, the material world, the physical world. But celebrate, this is a boundless creativity that we are, by making the choice right in the now, right in this now, to be spontaneous and let go of our attachment to all these plans and just be radically, wildly, absolutely, totally free. Be a different feeling, wouldn't it? We never know how much time we have left in these bodies. And what's the first thing that we want to do today? To live more freely and spontaneously. And the interesting thing about this is that I think people think they're alone. They're not. The universe is behind every single one of us. It's just acknowledging it and having the trust and faith in it. It's right behind each of us. So it's a choice that we can make. It's about our understanding, again, of who and what we are. You can't change the truth, but the truth can change you. There are as many great truths in our universe as there are stars in the sky. And yet, just like the billions of trillions of stars that exist, not all truths are created equal. This universe is not just made of black and white colors. If you look closer on a clear night, you'll see an entire rainbow of flavors. There's a vast multidimensional cosmic playground out there. And guess what? Inside of each and every one of us as well. We live in a highly diverse, intelligent system which contains various degrees of truth. And so not every truth will impact us the exact same way. The bigger a truth is, the more it will expand our reality. And the smaller a truth is, the more it will shrink and contract our experience of life. The good news is that we don't have to decide what is a big truth and what is a small truth. Our physical bodies will let us know. For our hearts are the best guide for seeing how expansive or contracted a truth actually is. And whenever we discover a larger, more profound truth in life, a little miracle happens. Everything that once felt hard, heavy, and stuck inside us suddenly becomes exalted and liberated. We feel lighter than air and are filled with a natural, spontaneous joy inside, which flows as freely as the wind. The mind stops thinking, and we experience our own source of consciousness. From here, we see life from a much more expanded perspective, and it can happen within milliseconds. One of the biggest truths I've ever uncovered along my path was the first lesson in the Course in Miracles. And it simply states this: that which is real cannot be threatened, and that which is unreal does not exist. Pretty common sense. This is an enormous truth for our minds, and that root it throughout your life. The more that you begin to understand what that means, and I'll say it one more time, that which is real cannot be threatened, and that which is unreal does not exist. What is it that feels threatened inside of us? What is this personality, this self, ego, or that thing that we all call you, which defends itself when feeling attacked or provoked? What is this little you who has a need to be on guard and protect itself, trying to assert itself and attempting to achieve something important or worthwhile with their life? And then, who is this overly strong, confident, all-important you who compensates for the super small, unimportant you? It's the one who has been attempting to make your life secure by feeling self-important, accomplished, met in deep embrace by their beloved, and all the while is feeling a deep and constant separation from God. The good news in all of this is that who we truly are has nothing to do with who and what we think we are. Your name, your personality, your character. Whatever we may think of and conceive of about ourselves with the mind can only be a thought. And this little thought is too small to be who or what we are. And who and what we really are is beyond any spiritual understanding of the mind. In this moment, and only this moment, we can find what is actually real. And this real thing is the only thing that liberates us, binds us at the same time. That which is real, the real you, does not change. And this essence is what remains the same for all eternity. Perhaps the most pivotal, enlightening truth that I discovered is understanding how all identification with the ego is based in some form of fear. All of it. If we are not experiencing a state of oneness, unity, love, connection, relaxation, and bliss, we are hanging out in some quality or version of fear. The ego is clinging to some thought or a process of thoughts which believes deep down that it is not one with the divine. It thinks it is not loved, accepted, embraced, or enlightened. The more creative you become, the more godly you become. When your creativity comes to a climax, when each moment of your life is filled with creativity, you live in God. Okay. Enlightenment is simply realizing again and again and again how to remain non-identified with one's ego. The enlightened state is a pure seeing, understanding how the ego is the greatest illusion of them all. To intimately know and become identified with the rest and the real self, that which cannot be threatened, is the only true path to total freedom there is. All other paths lead to some form of suffering. It requires no basic standard of ethics, codes of spirituality, or religious background needed to arrive. We simply experience ourselves as the essence of consciousness that we all naturally are. The ego, who who we think we are. The ego, who we think we are, has some truth to it. Yet it's just not very big truth. It's a smaller truth which only castrates our ability to expand into love, trust, and a feeling of oneness. Ego is a fear-based program that is based in the opposite experience of trust. If you're in ego, you're not in trust, period. And whenever we are living in trust 24 hours a day, we start accessing all the wisdom and knowledge known to all the saints, masters, and enlightened beings throughout existence. We step into the greatest experience of our lives. We find our real, true selves and know that we are the real masters of our destiny. And when we know our real nature, we can allow life to play its ego personally, its ego's personality role through us, and somehow not get in the way. We can sit back, go with the flow, and enjoy the ride. We can remain fascinated by this life, learning how we are here to serve others, take care of our bodies, and simply let all the intelligent life force move through us. And this state of perpetual enjoyment of this life is real, true mastery. When we remain free from all forms of ego identification, we cannot help but to enjoy all aspects of life, of this life. We allow a greater love to always guide our course and help us live with ease and grace in every way. The moment you start seeing life as non-serious, a playfulness, all the burden on your heart disappears. All the fear of death, of life, of love, of wealth, of poverty, everything disappears. One starts living with a very light weight or almost no weight. And you literally will be able to fly in the open sky. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted, and I'm sure we all are. And the first thing that we care to do is let that body relax. Anything you're carrying, anything you might have picked up the first thing you woke up this morning, whatever it may be, anything that you may be dragging through your life that you just haven't turned around, embraced, and talked with it so it would eventually vanish. Fears, anxieties, worries, stresses, all brought on by programmed thoughts. And only you, each one of us, has the ability to master over that and through it. So all of those tensions, stresses, and fears, you dump them off like you would the ballast in a hot air balloon. The bottom of that basket is what? Weight. Little sandbags. And you drop them off and the balloon goes up. You drop yours off, you're able to fly. Your body becomes light. Do any of them serve you the greater good? Do any of them really, truly serve you the greater good? I think maybe that you will say through your heart minds, no, they sure don't. Let them go. Once you do this, the body goes into a total relaxation. It's not carrying anything. It's not thinking anything. It's not attracting anything. It just almost floats. And when this happens, you move into the now. And the now stills the mind, the ego, and the subconscious mind. Stills them all. Which means you step outside of them. You're not participating with them. You're watching them, and you're not judging them. This is how you master them. Because they can become good allies, great allies, for a period of time until they realize they aren't needed. So the body's relaxed. You're in the now. And you've stilled the ego and the mind. Left them alone. And the now is the space between heartbeats. It's the moment. It's the moment for each of us. Whatever we're doing, that's what we're focused on. You ever been doing something and you thought you were, you're watching what you're doing, and then something, like something flies off to the left, or you drop something, or it's because you're not really focused on the now. And what does the now do? It brings in the God that you are. You're not connected to the physical world, the material world, the external authority. All the power's in the now. That's where it all is. The connection to the divine that you are is in the now. But remember, we've got tens of millions of thoughts that are all programmed. They're all running around. Some of us, the cloud goes by, we pull on the cloud and we float off. It doesn't mean there aren't thoughts. It doesn't mean there aren't thoughts. So, you stay in the now. Some of us, though, we have a past. The past is there because it used to be the now. And all of that is dead. It's inert. We have memories. Memories are great. We have memories. We interact with those memories, and we have a good time with them. Something will spark it, and then we kind of float into them. But we don't stay there. Those memories are in our subconscious mind. We can pull them out anytime we want. But some of us will go in that past like an elephant graveyard. Everything is dead, dank, and not moving. And then we'll take that past, we'll drag it into a future that doesn't exist. We will create that future from that past, and we will live that past in that future. This is why a lot of people will say to themselves, no matter what we do, we always seem to end up here. That's why. Others will go into the future that doesn't exist. We create the future in the now. And we wander. And we ask ourselves, why isn't this happening? How come this hasn't happened? When am I going to meet this person? When am I going to get this? When is this going to come to me? When am I going to be happier? When am I going to be healthier? How long is this going to last? You see what we do, and I'm not saying any of it's bad. It's just that we do that. None of us are exempt from it. So doesn't it make sense to be in the now and stay in the now? How do you stay in the now? With all tens of millions of these programs running around, well, you focus on your breath. The breath is divine positive energy. Why is it divine? Why is it positive? The soul, the God, enters the body, powers up the body. Everything starts functioning, including the lungs and the breath. Then the body turns around and sustains itself through the breath to support the God that gave it power to do so. And that is why the breath is divine positive energy. It is all omnipotently powerful. A lot of us take it for granted. We say, well, it's just breathing. So whenever you find yourself floating off with the most gentleness, kindest, generous, and humble way to yourself, you just say, okay, so I've floated off in these thoughts. No hurry, no hecticness. You just say, I'll focus on my breath, my divine positive energy. 3,000% of the time, I'll be in the now. In the now. So body's relaxed, you're in the now, moment to moment. And you look at the body and you go, I notice that this body has all of these wheels of light going from the tip of the tailbone to the top of the head. What are those? Are those real? This is huge. You're looking at the body. They all have different colors. There's 7 different colors. Energy vortexes, some people call them chakras. The enlightened path, the gateway to the divine. There's many different versions and definitions. They're etheric, which means they're spiritual. They're on the spiritual realm and plane. They're not like a chunk of wood, and you, the God that you are, each of us, flows through them. And when we flow through them, we branch out, we cover the whole body. So we literally saturate the body. And each one of these, each one, you, the God, flows through like the root chakra, the red wheel of light. And emotions, right? Which is survival. And it is blocked by fear. The programmed thought of fear blocks our survival. Because we embrace that thought, the programmed thought. And so that thought that we embrace is fear. And so survival is finances, food, shelter, well-being, and fear derails it. You could get a group of people, and they're all relying on each other out in the wilderness. Doesn't mean they're all experienced either. Maybe they got in a plane crash or something. And the one that panics perishes. Then we move to the orange wheel of light, the sacral chakra. Now this is our pleasure center. This is our sexuality. This is our joy, bliss, happiness, peace. And I'm sure you've experienced it where you're in this energy, and it's whatever is happening with you in that moment, and everything's falling into place, and everything's wonderful, and for that, there's a time in there you just say, man, this is really just great, and you're almost euphoric about it. When you reflect it and you look and you say, this is just, I wish it could be this way all the time. How many of us have said that to ourselves or to others? I wish this could be this way all the time. But what do we say? But it's not going to last forever. I know that, and I better enjoy it while I can because it's going to be gone before I know it. And that's all crap. That's all programming from the ego mind. That's our natural state of being, by the way. So, guilt. Program thought, guilt. Guilt comes in. Boom, done. Then we move to the yellow wheel of light, the solar plexus chakra. Deals with willpower. Blocked by shame. Another program thought. So your direction of commitment is interrupted through shame. And then we move to the emerald green wheel of light. This is the heart chakra. Our ability to love. Blocked by grief. When you're in grief, you're incapable of love. And then we move to the blue wheel of light, throat chakra. It deals with truth. It's our communication. Blocked by lies. And see this in this meditation. Feel it as you, the God, flows through that body. It's a whole different perspective. But it is the real one. We move to the indigo wheel of light, third eye chakra, deals with insight. And it is blocked by illusion. Then the crown chakra, top of the head. This deals with cosmic energy, direct connection to the divine, which you are. It's blocked by ego attachment. The ego blocks us from connecting with the true source of the God that we are. Isn't that amazing? Blocks us. You'd rather have that ego as an ally, wouldn't you? That you mastered and directed Now, the God that we are, we flow with the divine positive energy, the breath, all the way to the top of the head. And we condense into pure liquid energy. We are one, we are God, and we are love. And as soon as that is said, it's omnipotently powerful liquid energy, the God that we are, floods the pineal gland. Now, the pineal gland is very important to us while we're in these physical forms because of the fact that it connects us to all the particles of existence, all that there is, all the extensions, all the universes, which are extensions of one universe, and everything. Now, to do this, the pineal gland must be vibrantly healthy, peak performance, full, clean, pure, strong. Not yet, though. We don't have that yet, but we will. So we pour the God that we are over the pineal gland. Now, you can view the pineal gland any way you choose in your heart, mind's motion picture. I see it as a green ball. Rosebud. And as soon as I pour the God that I am over it, it immediately transforms, like in a split second, into a massive, fully bloomed rose, multicolored petals, shimmering, sending off an absolute phenomenal fragrance. And it's soaking, saturating, bathing, and showering me. And it is of the highest, of the deepest eternal love. And is from the highest of the deepest eternal gratitude and peace. And it's endless. And I discover it is the God within me. The rose is the God. The God is the rose. These bodies, heart, mind, ego, mind, subconscious mind, the God, the pure consciousness, all one. The soul enters this body, heaven. The body, earth. So we are heaven on this earth. And every step we take, for those of us who are awake consciously to a certain extent, we know that every step we take, we're creating paradise. We also shine our light, the God light that we are, 360 degrees everywhere. We don't keep it condensed or compressed. We let it just flow, touching all the other parts of us. Imagine 8 billion on the surface of this planet, all emanating God force, love, light, energy, 360 degrees, eternally. View that in your heart, mind's motion picture. Feel it through your heart, mind. We're flooding all of our brothers and sisters, whether awake or asleep. All life, highest supreme value in the universe. Everything and everything, nothing and nothing. You see how powerful the God that you are, each and every one of us are, is? This isn't a figment. It's a reality. And it's the real reality, not the illusion. So we reach out to all the parts that are awake. in this meditation. Now, a lot of parts of us aren't awake. They're still with us, they're just not awake. For instance, all the light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond and forever, all planets, including this one, yet only those that are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, in this liberation of this planet. Now, they come in the Gugaplexes. One Gugaplex fills this entire universe with not even an inch of sacred space to spare. And the ones on this planet, we're not too familiar because we only see 1% of what is on this planet because of the eyes that we have with these bodies. The ones that we're familiar with, to a certain extent, are the fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the trolls, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, the minotaur, and many, many, many more. Now, like I shared, we don't see most of them. They come in shapes, color, sizes, forms, configurations of which we don't see. But they are with us now consciously. We call upon all the off-world, all the galactics, all the celestials, yet only those who are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest and deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest and deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, forming the circle of light, complete liberation of this planet. Now, we're only familiar with a smidgen of them. Over 1,000 travel through the solar system every day. Trillions throughout the universes every day. And the ones that we're somewhat familiar with, the Pleiadians, the Sirians, the Arcturians, the Andromedans, the Feline, Zeta Reticuli, the Nords, the Greys, the Draco, the Reptilian, the Golden Pyramid, the Avian, many, many, many more. They've been assisting us in our evolution, enlightenment, ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. And they are with us now, consciously. We call upon all the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath earth. Yet, only those who are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, forming this circle of light, complete liberation of this planet. And in the billions, they are with us now consciously. We call upon all of our loved ones, all those who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. Yet, only those who are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, forming the circle of light, complete liberation of this planet. And they come in the billions, and they are with us now consciously. They're the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes, ascended masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Sananda Christ, El Morya, Abundantia, Pel, Thought, Yahweh, Yeshua, many, many, many more. The archangels, they're a civilization that vibrate at a different frequency than we do. We don't see them like we see each other. But we meet with them. And and when you do, it doesn't dawn on you until maybe a little bit after. But you know it. You just know it in your heart mind. They might be walking past you, a complete stranger, and say something about how you're dressed that they like. It might be someone that is helping you with something that's a complete stranger. It might be someone that you meet that you just feel so good with. And it's the same message. It's just delivered in so many different ways. Isn't it magna glorious to be alive in these bodies, in this now? Now, they can surround any one of us in the tens of thousands. Because of their vibrational frequency, they can hold a large number in a small area. And if you want them to, ask them. You'll be in bliss. Tens of thousands all around you. The ascended masters, they've mastered ascension into physical form, out of physical form, called pure consciousness God form. We are mastering physical form, and we are creating our experiences to perfect our creation. We're all one. We're all gathered here. Arm in arm, hand in hand, in full compassion, non-negativity, non-judgment, non-ego, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, abundance, prosperity, benevolence. And we are all one. And we're all God. And we're all love. And our God force, love, light, energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And it continues to intensify. And it continues to expand. We immediately form a circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. This light emanates from the true God source that each and every one of us are. It is so brilliant that it grays out the darkness of sacred space. It would take 1,000 trillion suns to come close to its brilliance. And we are flooding this planet. All life, all of our brothers and sisters, awake or asleep, the highest supreme value in the universe is. And we're doing it always, consciously. We're bathing and showering parts of ourselves. As we continue to do this, they begin to become more awake. That's the idea. Total liberation. We begin to ascend above the planet. As we do, we come into full contact with this massive ocean of glitter. It's everywhere. But when we look at it, it isn't really glitter. It's just massive flashes of light, bouncing and going and penetrating through us, around us, all gathered in this meditation. Hundreds of millions of us on and off world. We look at the source of the reflection, and there's little microscopic mirrors, little etched mirrors, so we enter them, and we discover that we all of us, are teachers and students. We're all teaching each other. We're all learning from each other every split second. Throughout existence, this journey is endless, and we always have that. It's absolutely spectacular. We learn. We learn from the archangels. They learn from us. We learn from the ascended masters. They learn from us. We learn from everything. Teaching and learning, learning and teaching. We continue to descend above this planet, and we're immediately met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is a column of light that we created that reminds us all that we are the power of healing. We were then met with the violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is the column of light that we created that reminds us all of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. And we're met with white fire. This is a column of light that reminds us all that we created, that we are protected head to toe, inside now, 24/7, eternally, with a white fire armor, way beyond that of a knight's armor. And it emanates from the God source, love, light, energy within each and every one of us. This is pure love, uninterrupted, fluid, pure, deep. No demon possessions. No lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies. No attachments whatsoever. But only you have the power that if you decide to lower your vibrational frequency low enough through anger, subconsciously or unconsciously or consciously, through anger, fear, hatred, worry, stress, anxiety, hurriedness, you will lower your vibrational frequency low enough to create a breach in your white fire armor, enough so to allow all the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. Now, if you do decide to do this, you are met with two columns of light, the purple transmuting flame and the violet ray. The purple transmuting flame is a column of light that we created to remind us all that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can transmute all the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance. Sending them back to pure consciousness where they are no more, totally vaporized forever. The violet ray, we bring that right behind the purple transmuting flame. This is a column of light that reminds us all that we can cleanse and purify the area with the violet ray where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor, restoring the highest of the highest high of the deepest, purest, eternal love and gratitude and peace. We are then met with the golden, white, pink light. This is a column of light that we created that reminds us all that we are the sun. We are the sunlight. We are the sunsets and the sun rises. We are the rain and the rainbows. We are the trees and the forests. We are the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the streams. We are everything. And everything is us. So the next time you view a sunset or sunrise, an ocean front, a starry lit night sky, it is you. You're the beauty. You're the grandeur. You're the vistas. You're the divineness. Each and every one of us are. Always. We continue to ascend above this planet. Immediately, we come into contact with this massive crystalline light tower that we created, larger than a solar system. In the center of the tower, there is this massive oblong sphere. In the center of the sphere is this golden white bowl of light surrounded by numerous colored bands of light. They're all sending waves of massive energy, flooding, saturating, bathing us all, head to toe, inside and out. The golden white ball of light is the highest of the highest high, the deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and the rest come in, right with it, right with it. The deepest of the deepest, deepest gratitudes, the purest of the purest, purest, stillest peace, well-being, great wealth, great abundance, great prosperity, unending tranquility, benevolence, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness. And it is all us. It's our natural state of being. It is the God that we all are. It isn't the body. It is the God. Now, at the top of the tower, we designed it so the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees, as it's doing right now, flooding all of us eternally with the deepest, deepest, deepest of eternal love. Now, we are drops of this golden ocean. We also hold the essence of this golden ocean. Golden ocean is the drops, drops are the golden ocean. And the only illusion is separation. We continue to ascend above the planet. Some of us step outside our physical form and hover effortlessly above the body, if we're carrying physical form. Why do we do this? Well, because we can. Then we see our meditative sphere, set center circle. We all created this sphere over 3 years ago. It holds nearly 1,500 of our meditations in perpetual motion. Hundreds of millions of us, day after day, over 3 years. The highest of the highest highs of intent. We all deserve the best of everything. After all, we're gods and bodies. And all of these are flooding us all head to toe, inside and out, nonstop, eternally. You can actually see why this higher vibrational frequency continues to heighten. The intensity of these meditations continue to expand, continue to intensify. And feel the flood of that sphere saturating you, head to toe, inside and out, never ending. Affecting all quadrants of this galaxy and the galaxy and beyond. Because we truly are one. And we are part of the collective consciousness and the one God. That's why this sphere can be seen, heard, and felt, and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. This is why it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. There is only one suffering I know of, and that is not to be that which you are capable of being. The real suffering is to go on missing the opportunity to transform your potential into reality. Don't be the potential, be the reality of the potential. I'll join you in the meditation and return to close this out. Take an easy breath in through the nose. And an easy breath out through the mouth. Move easily and slowly. Man has lived too much in war. Outside he fights with others. Inside he fights with himself. In the name of politics, fight with others. In the name of religion, fight with yourself. This cannot bring peace. One has to learn how to drop these old patterns. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and into the following morning. We will return here tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern for the Time for Change call, and tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m. to continue our global guided meditation calls.